The further away you go from an object, the more the parallax changes.
Okay, parallax of what?
Of any two objects.
Okay, so and when you're looking at curvature, what are the two objects?
Your reference points on the horizon. I mean, you put reference points on your horizon.
Can I ask a question?
You put reference points out there. That's what you're saying. Yeah. Okay, so those reference points would parallax?
Yes, which is why they had an issue with
space. But parallax is something that you have to go this way. I mean, how does parallax go with perspective?
Because like when you close one eye and the other one, the object in the horizon shifts based on your distance from said object. The larger it becomes and the more you go to an infinite horizon, because the horizon is an infinite structure, the less the parallax. So the idea is that we're so small in comparison, you wouldn't notice that.
We have cameras now called the P900 and the P1000 just came out.
But still, we're too tiny. We're so tiny.
No. Can always be brought down to the formula. It can always be brought to the formula.
It can't though. Not based on photonic energy.
Oh, yes it can. We can zoom in 85 miles.
Have you studied physics?
I had one basic course.
I'm just saying if you look at optical physics and like astronomy and the way like refraction works, this stuff kind of begins to fall apart. I'm not saying
no, it doesn't.
Okay.
No, it doesn't, because we have videos of 1,000, the P1000 with miles away. We have infrared photography 1,000 miles away.
Okay.
Infrared.
I have a question.
Okay. I mean, I know you're.
So it does not fall apart.
No,
it doesn't.
Okay. We can agree to disagree.
See you, Selger. Well, we're done because you say this is falling apart. No,
she's right.
No, that's not it.
No, I'm not. I'm trying to respect your position.
Well, and I grew up learning this heliocentric spinning ball model, and now I've studied something else, and I believe I trust this now.
I mean, it's really a helix model. It's not a concentric circle model, much like the atom. I mean, we're finding the atom is not a series of valence shells. It's helix.
We're looking into the atoms now too. There's people looking into that.
Yeah, it's a helix model motion, not a concentric circle motion. I mean, we're going around the center of the galaxy too.
Well, how can an atom, which is spherical, have a helix?
It's not though. It's not spherical. We can't image that.
Well, that's why we're wondering if it is really what they say it is.
Which is why now in high school you're not taught valence shells anymore. You're taught the cloud perspective because of a Brownian motion, Fibonacci's number, all that fun stuff. I mean, that's the basics of the physics that we believe happens at the atomic scale.
Well, they have to try and come up with something to keep up with the internet because we're all learning from each other now, and it's not right out of a textbook that we don't have any resources.
Yeah.
So I think we are living in an exciting age.
Well, I think it goes both ways, though, right? With shared information, so shared fake information as well.
Well, I never tell anybody to believe me.
Yeah.
I always say, make sure you research this for yourself, and if they look into this, they'll be smarter no matter what.
Fair enough. No, I totally agree with that, too. I think a more perspective is always good, because either you're going to reinforce your perspective or find a new one. So I do agree with that. That's very interesting.
Yeah.
So,
Marilyn
Michael. It was very nice talking with you. Take care.
Now, what was your? Oh wait, he said something. Oh, did you? You were first. Sorry, he's
kind
first.
Kind of bouncing off of his. How would you explain time zone? Because how time zone works, it goes around the Earth as we go around the sun. The time zone changes back a couple hours.
Okay. So it's exactly the same.
It wouldn't be the same.
These are longitude lines. The longitude lines determine the time zones. Did you get one, honey? You can have that. Sure. So the time zones are determined by longitude.
Okay.
So that's how it would work.
That doesn't.
The sun comes around, and it only. We had videos of this guy. He was an airplane pilot. He turned to the left and he sees the sun. He turns to the right and sees the moon. It's dark over here and it's light over here. I mean, the sun does not shine in a vast distance. You know, it has limitations.
Wait, what do you mean? So he turns left and he sees the sun and turns right to see the moon. So at the same like level as that? So
yes.
Oh, so
and it's light and it's dark in the same place.
Wait, so you're saying like the sun, you're going back to the point that the sun's only 9 miles up, right? And you're saying that the plane was on the same level as it. Well, well maybe because like planes could like tilt side to side, and then if you're...
Well, then you look at the video,
and it's
start looking.
Turns left, although it is right to his left, perpendicular, it could be way up there.
No, he went like this.
He was flat.
He went like this. He was flying a commercial airplane.
I don't know anything about that.
There was a commercial airplane. This proves that The horizon is always at your eye level, no matter how high you go. If you're in an airplane, I mean,
okay,
if you're in an airplane,
because the Earth is huge. It's huge. Of course,
you see a mountain?
Flat for like 5,
if you
6,
go
7,
out on the
20
seashore,
miles.
you go to Ocean City, you'll be able to see this.
Just because it's a small fraction of the huge Earth we live on. That
well,
doesn't prove anything.
You can be a bacteria on a basketball if you want to.
A bacteria on a basketball?
You can do that if you want.
How is that relevant to the? What
you say we're so small. We're just so little.
No.
Yeah.
The horizon. You said no matter how far you look out, it's going to be flat. The horizon's flat, right? No shit. Like, look way out there. Everything looks flat, right?
Okay.
You know why?
If you look out, wherever you stand on the globe,
we're not looking. Okay, if you look at the horizon, you're not looking way over here or anything. You're looking.
No, but no matter how high you go, it has to curve down and away.
It curves down.
Be careful what you're eating. That causes joint pain. Stay away from dairy. It causes joint pain.
Why are you healthy?
So, look, he was rubbing his knees. So.
Hear that, everyone?
So look, wherever you stand on a globe, you're looking down. So if you go super high, at some point it should curve down.
Right.
And it doesn't. It's always up here.
Because it's so far out, that's why.
You can't see around objects. Like, I can't see what's behind that building.
Okay.
If so you are in a plane,
how far you can.
If you're in a plane, we have balloons, weather balloons. We set up with cameras, 120,000 feet, 200 and something. I don't know. Very high, higher than planes normally go. Okay, so you got to look at that footage. The horizon is always, even at the highest, it's always up here. Ah, that guy, Bumgardner, the Red Bull guy, Red Bull. Okay. When he opened the door, the horizon was flat, but when he got on the outside, it was curved. You know why? Because on the outside, they used a fisheye lens, a wide-angle lens. But on the inside, they couldn't do that. They couldn't do that on the inside. Do you know why they couldn't do it?
Him, he didn't look like a fat.
Do you know why they couldn't do it on the inside? Because you would have seen the little capsule curving.
So, by theory...
Did you get one of these guys? Yeah, this is what we're looking at right now.
So,
yeah,
ma'am, by theory, so if the Earth is flat,
did you get one?
One of the tallest.
That's what all of their videos were recorded as. It's Red Bull, of course. Like use GoPros and like stuff like that.
So the most information in one picture.
Red Bull and whatever organization. Wait, you said Red Bull did that, right?
Yeah, the Red Bull guy.
Every single one of their videos is fish islands.
Not one for when it's inside the capsule. You watch when he opened the door.
All right, so in theory, would you?
I don't know anything about that. So
would you say that if we stood here in a clear field, we would see the tallest building in Dubai without any problem?
Why would you say that? You can't even read that picture.
Because you said there's no.
Well, you're right.
Your eyes have limitations.
That's not the problem. No,
this is what we're talking about. This is what we're talking about.
You give a quick explanation of why that was flat.
Yeah, actually, I can. See right here, it says there's a curvature formula.
Right.
Okay, so wherever you stand on the Earth, forever how far out you go, it has to drop.
Right.
This is the formula we came up with using Pythagorean theorem. It's over there, but you can also look. You can look right here, and it'll tell you everything we have on there.
Wait, no. What do you have?
Okay.
Yeah. Take a look.
Right,
go right ahead. Take a picture or whatever you want.
So let's assume that the Earth here.
Look at this.
So let's assume
NASA, fake.
So let's assume that
they want to lie to us.
Help me.
Why? I told you that already. I know you heard it.
The government lies to us all the time about things that
I know.
them.
So I'm telling you that there's an alternative, and you should look into it. It does.
That's what I'm trying to do.
If you don't trust the ground you stand on, what can you trust?
Nothing.
You don't trust your senses.
That's
Do you feel?
You don't trust anyone. All right, so if we're standing in a...
He shut you up.
If we're in a clear field...
Did you get a card, guys? Yeah, I got a card. Did you get a card? This is what we're talking about.
So we're in a clear field, yes?
All right.
We would... So you're saying we would be able to...
Sure, I'm sorry.
Is this the shape of it, or it's still circular?
Just get warmed up.
That is the flat Earth map that we have, the best.
Can I walk off?
No, you can't go past the 60th parallel because it's controlled by the military.
Which military?
The Antarctic Treaty, the 53 countries that signed the Antarctic Treaty. They in the 50s. After Admiral Byrd went down there and found something that they're not telling us about.
Admiral Byrd?
Yeah. Yeah, it's all on the, if you look at the website here, it'll go through everything I have on the banners. And then you'll be able to figure it out.
What is the purpose of this perspective? Like, what do we get from thinking this?
Well, I think you're getting the truth, and the truth matters.
But
see, I don't want the government lying to me. I don't want them taking control of the courts and doing whatever benefits them. I want the truth.
Is this in a galaxy?
We don't know what's beyond. I only teach up to the edge of Antarctica.
Who do you teach? Me?
I teach anybody who wants to know about this.
Do you teach in a classroom?
No, I've gone to Temple, I've gone to...
Similarly to how you're here?
Correct.
I understand.
Correct.
Okay, so, and the moon?
The moon? Well, I like to stick to the Earth, okay? The moon, I have some theories on, but I've never been there, so I can't really prove things. There's some limitations because we haven't been there. So yes, we never landed on the moon.
No, I have a whole video of it.
And I believed it for 59 and a half years.
And the stars?
The stars, they are points of light only.
I'm so happy.
Points of what? A lamp?
They are points of light. Okay, look up star in a jar. It's sonoluminescence. It's how a star is formed by sound waves in a liquid. And this will all be on that. You can look up that video, and it has a lot on there. And you can look up, if you type in Flat Earth on YouTube, you'll get a whole new set of videos. But Star in a Jar will show you how a star is formed.
Do you think that this can help improve, like, air travel? Knowledge of this?
Air travel happens. It happens. Do I think that the airlines are completely honest with us? No. I think there are different jet streams, and I think they take advantage of those, and that's being studied right now, actually. The flight pass, you know what? The flight pass, I have it over here on the board.
Who is studying this?
The Flat Earth community.
Who funds this?
It's not the society.
I buy these myself. Everybody's an individual.
You buy these yourself?
Everybody's an individual.
That's true. We are
There's no
individuals.
E in there.
Okay, so we all do our own thing.
Do you buy this from a publisher who is publishing these for you?
I buy this from a friend who runs this website.
Okay. And how much do you pay for this?
I don't think that's your concern.
It is actually my concern. That's why I'm asking.
Why is that your concern?
This is like my
I'm
sleep
concerned for folks who are paying for this. I'm just gonna take a picture of it.
That's fine. Take a picture of the back, though,
I
too.
don't want to take your money. This is a sad. I'm sorry.
No, that's
Sorry.
okay.
I'm
I understand.
You also pay for this?
Yeah, but I get a cut rate because I'm on the website.
So what's the
I don't get a payment. I do this out of
Oh,
love.
you get a cut rate.
A cut rate for buying things or getting the things.
So is there a full price, but you have a discounted price?
Yeah, you could
And
say
they're
that.
posted
You
for
could
it?
say that. But I do this out of love for humanity.
Okay, can you tell me how this benefits us?
Well, I believe this is truth.
Okay.
Truth always matters, and the truth helps.
Okay,
So what
space.
is fake?
Okay, so where are we?
We're on a flat plane.
Where is this flat plane?
Just like
A lot of people say we're in some sort of water, above and below. Ancient documents say that. I don't teach past this flat plane.
But the ancient documents might have been disproven by since.
No, they have been faked. That's why they call them images from space. Because they legally have to say, they have to say it's an image because they can't say it's a picture. It's not a reproduction, it's a made up thing.
But an image is an image. It's just an image. It doesn't, that's the visual representation.
Look up the legal definition.
Okay.
Yeah. I know this is really combating what you've known and learned.
I'm actually really okay.
Okay. Well, no, I mean, I struggled with this too.
I'm not struggling. I'm okay. I'm just interested. I worry that you're paying for that. I apologize.
Don't worry about it.
I'm worried about you.
Thank you.
Wait, is that her YouTube channel?
Oh, damn.
Yeah, the
You have a
photo.
YouTube channel?
I'm sorry?
Do you have like a YouTube
Yes,
channel?
yes, ma'am, I do, and you can get it on there. I'm on this website.
You are Flat Earth.
Is it your YouTube
Yep.
channel or you're just
All
part
right.
of it?
So, back to my point.
I don't own this website. A good friend of mine runs
And it
it.
was like 100-something.
A good
hours.
friend of mine runs it.
back to my point.
195,991
I'm sorry, but
It's all good.
I was glad that she stopped and asked questions.
It's all good. So,
So who's that
Definitely
guy
do
right
have
there?
your
Who's that
points
guy right
and
there with
everything
the
to back it up.
clipboard?
I don't know.
See the
Let's
dean
forget about him.
We know.
All right,
Let me
so,
just give him a card. Here, sir, this is what we're talking about. This is what we're talking
Oh, I
about.
know.
Did
Thank
you get
you.
one? There you go.
Oh,
You can
thanks.
have one too, honey. Anybody else?
No, thank you.
Okay. Okay, now you're on. Go.
all right, so clear field. There's nothing obstructing our way. Tallest building is in not the tallest. I don't think it's the tallest building anymore. In Dubai.
In
there's one of
Dubai,
the- one of the
right.
tall-
It is still the
Is it
tallest
still the tallest building? Oh, so, okay, so the tallest building in Dubai.
it's
Let's
part
say
of it,
that
but
it's
you don't
in the
see bottom.
middle of Earth.
Where you
Like,
got the
it's-
website?
It's like slapped in the middle of Earth. And would you say that we would be able to stand right here in a clear field, no trees, no buildings, we would see that tower?
No,
Well,
dog.
'Cause
Let
you
me
said that
tell
it-
you. Let
you
me
said
tell
it's
you what
flat.
you can see.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can see Polaris.
What is that? Explain it to me.
He's showing us the
There's
website.
also
No,
a
just
car.
a recording.
Oh, you're recording. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
That's all good.
All right, so we can see Polaris, which is the pole star, which is right above the North Pole.
Yes.
It has to be nighttime.
Okay? Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
So we can see that. So if that building is as tall as Polaris, yeah, we'd see it.
it's pretty damn tall.
All right.
I'll tell
Yeah. So we got that.
you. So,
Santa
how
at
far
the
up
North
is
Pole?
Polaris? So is
Isn't
that
that funny? Do you used to believe in Santa?
I never
believe in
believed it.
Santa.
I never let my kids believe it was
Actually, I
real.
believed him until I was like,
so would you say that the smoke fog from like China, would you see that also? Like the like the white clouds of America and the yellow clouds of China. Would you see that?
Well, you have to understand that there's stuff floating around in the atmos that occludes our vision. So if it's a clear day, you can see a lot farther. I don't know. Why are you asking me hypothetical?
Well, if it's
Why
a
don't
clear
you?
day,
wonder
if it's
why
a clear
everything's
day,
so fun.
if it's a clear day, nothing's blocking us. No clouds, no like it's a perfect clear day.
points that you have her on, she always says, "There's no way of knowing."
Hey, you're in
The unknown.
fantasy land. Come down to the formula for curvature and go find some.
I have a question.
But don't hold your
Knowing
breath.
that it's
But the Earth is
I
flat.
also
and
have a
there's no
question.
way
So there's
of
no
knowing.
curvature.
Right,
But-
right, you got it.
But wait, so you said there's Earth is flat, there's
Did
no
you want one?
curvature, but you said that we can't see it because of curves, and they're breaking my mind right now.
I have a question. What is the point? If, say we assume the Earth is flat,
Why would it concern
why do
us?
I care?
Why do you
Why
care?
Why
If you
should I
can't
care?
Well-
trust the ground that you walk on, how can you
It
trust
has
anything?
it has to do with the lie.
That's what she says.
The government is lying to us.
Oh, they haven't- they
Okay.
haven't
Why
lied
would
to
this
us for
concern
years.
you?
All right.
And if they did
So,
lie to us,
does that matter to
There's
you?
no perfect
Wait, do you
government.
think eventually?
Does truth lie? Does the truth matter?
What is the lie?
Wait.
The lie is the spinning ball.
So it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
think-
Okay. So what happens if you get into like a court system, and all these judges are all in with the government, and the lawyers are all in with the government, and they say, "Hey, this guy over here is my buddy, so we're going to make it go their way."
So the Earth,
Okay.
That was
there's a
very
lot more
vague.
problems.
Yeah,
There's
right.
a lot more problems.
Yeah, but you know what?
So
You're
there's a
going
point.
to
What's the
suffer.
point?
There's a lot of suffering from lies.
The Earth
I'm gonna
is
die.
a big giant
How
pepperoni
does this
pizza.
concern us?
do
Wait,
with
why would
crust
it
is the
affect
ice
anybody
cream.
if they told us it was round
The,
or flat?
You're gonna die.
Oh,
You're
God.
gonna die.
But wait a minute. Wait a minute.
My question is, how do you think all the governments in the world,
I'll get to
when they
that.
can't cooperate on
Wait. Will you ever have children? Hey. She doesn't care. But someday you guys are going to have children.
Yeah.
And you're going to love them more than you love yourself.
They're gonna have a round head.
Would you want to see them suffer?
Suffer?
Would you want to see them suffer?
Suffering?
Yes.
Okay? Lies
suffer
make
'cause I live
people
at home.
suffer.
Yes.
Okay.
Do you want humanity to suffer? That's why I'm
What if
here.
Well, humanity's
proves
been
to you right
suffering
now
since
that
the
the Earth
Bible,
is
so
flat?
I don't know.
Well,
Suffering
if the
any
truth
different
will
than you were
set
than
you
you are
free,
now?
that's what you don't understand.
it's
The
all
truth.
bullshit.
Wait.
Did you get one of
Set me
these?
free, too.
You can see what we're talking about.
So
Ron,
Go. Save yourself. You don't want to get
Hey, you're still standing here for the whole time you've been standing here. So why are you still standing here?
Because I have nothing better to do until my 1:30 class.
All right, now why about all the governments?
Right.
Okay, so 53 governments signed on to the Antarctic Treaty.
Okay.
And it's the longest held treaty, I guess, that we've ever had. Now, why would they all be in cahoots with that?
There's nothing there.
Because why would you?
No, there's a lot there. You look up Admiral Byrd. Look up Admiral Byrd, and he said there was a lot of resources down there. So what if they're just charging us $4 for a gallon of gas when it really costs 17 cents?
It does. That's how it already is.
Yeah, that's true.
So wouldn't you like to get rid of all that system that's taking all our money?
Well, they just don't.
What does this have to do with?
So besides getting people to...
I mean,
it has to do with the truth.
All right.
What is the rest of the plan?
What plan?
Right,
What
so
are we gonna do? We're
once
just all gonna
everyone
believe
finds
it?
out that the world is
government's
flat,
still-
what?
All I'm doing is telling people truth.
would
All I'm
completely
doing is
get,
telling people the
like,
truth.
wrecked.
And you guys,
Wait, do you think
once we
eventually
get
we're
enough
gonna-
numbers that we can say, you guys are out of office and we are fixing this mess.
Do you think we're
That's what we're going to do.
We're eventually.
How many people?
Well, how many people are in the United States?
Do you think we're eventually going to find out the
I don't know.
Earth is flat around?
There has to be a tipping point.
We have to find out eventually.
Mental health issues
200 years
will
from now,
no
we're going to find out, right? 100 years from now,
Homelessness will no longer
we have to find out one way or another. Once we're.
So wouldn't you like to be smart now, or do you want to live your whole life in ignorance?
I don't think I'll be alive.
What do you mean?
Today's my birthday,
there's no way of knowing.
and I am celebrating every year I get.
But it's kind of like.
Well, then don't do it. I
Eventually we're
told you
gonna
that
find out.
already.
So why would NASA?
I already told you.
Okay.
If you don't care
Sure.
about this, see ya.
Do you get paid to do
I don't care.
He
No.
knows that I'm beating her at every single point.
Well, I mean,
Well,
you know,
I mean, yeah.
study this. Figure out if it's right.
I just need common sense.
So if the government is telling us lies this entire time, which I do believe, and that we shouldn't trust the government, why should we trust you?
I didn't tell you to trust me, did I?
You know, if that's the case.
I said research it. Go find out for yourself.
Well, I've done.
That's what I
I've
said,
done actually
right?
14.
Well, look it up.
12. Not 12.
I am now. You got one?
Are
Okay.
you a scientist?
I am now. I teach this science. I teach this science. Would you like a card? Would you like a card, sir? Okay, good. I teach this stuff right here on the banners.
Right here?
Yeah.
Do you look at any data online?
Why would I do that?
It usually lets you learn a lot.
Well, I know the heliocentric model enough to know that this is
Do you
true.
watch National Geographic? Do you watch
Oh my gosh. National Geographic just did a test down at the Salton Sea. Very salty sea, very low, and they were going to do this flat test, right? It's the place where there's the most atmospheric interference, and they couldn't figure this out. Oh, we can't see it. We can't see it. But one of our guys had a P900 camera, and he said, "I can see the balloon right there." See?
The key that was your guys.
Our cameras. They showed them in.
Not National Geographic.
No, they showed us in the camera. They could see what other guys couldn't see. I don't believe television. I don't believe the government organizations. I don't.
Do you believe evidence and facts and data and statistics?
Yes. Do you?
Yes.
Okay, I'm telling you new evidence. If you're a scientist, you will at least look at the evidence because you can't reject it without looking at it.
Right.
Do you agree with that?
Your theory or the evidence?
The evidence. Just look at the evidence.
No, this evidence. The evidence.
See, look at this.
Board.
Curvature formula. Go find me curvature. If you find it, contact the website.
We may not feel it, but the Earth is round.
Okay,
So
well, you
Earth
do that.
if
It's
the
round
Earth
like a
is flat,
pizza.
A wheel is round. Is a wheel flat too if Earth is round?
If you turn a wheel on the side, it's flat.
If you turn the wheel on its side, I mean a wheel
Hello?
standing up.
Did you get one?
Nope.
You want one?
Nope.
All right, she's not.
One more question about that.
Where are you? What is your heritage?
My heritage?
Yeah, you look
Why is
Greek.
that important?
Is it Greek or something? No, you have a very interesting look.
Just how I am.
Very good.
What is the what is the purpose of the lie? What are we being shielded
Well,
from?
in order
what could I gain
in
from-
order to believe a spinning globe, we have to deny our senses.
Okay.
Okay, and then we have to deny the evidence.
Okay.
And we have to trust the government.
Okay.
We have to
What
put
sense do we
government in place of
Sure.
anything else.
What
I think the question was why would they bother lying to us?
Because they don't want us to question them. The kings never let the serfs read.
So essentially, you're trying to say that they're trying to make sheep of us.
Sheeple.
So what does the Flat Earth Society trying to do to other people?
I don't know. I'm not part of the Flat Earth Society.
Okay, what the Flat Earth
Flat Earth
community.
Society is a government-run organization.
Community.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
Okay.
Flat Earth Society is bad news.
Okay, okay. So the community, the Flat Earth community,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
What are you guys trying to spread the truth?
That's what I'm here to do.
But what if in that sense the government's doing the same thing and you're both making us into sheep?
That's why you have to decide for yourself. I tell you to decide for yourself. And the government says, you repeat whatever I have in this textbook or you don't get a good grade. And then you won't get a good job. And we're going to make you pay millions of dollars for that, right? Isn't that what they say?
Why theorists exist.
That's what they
said. That's why they're getting paid to prove.
No, you don't. Then you're following another person. You're following
then
somebody.
You're following another person.
No,
okay.
I went to Wildwood and I saw Atlantic City.
At one point, did you believe that the Earth was round?
Yes.
Okay, what changed your? What changed?
I studied the evidence.
You studied how long?
Whose evidence?
Well, it took me. I still am looking for curvature, and I just relish the thought that I never find it.
How long since you started till now?
2.5 years.
2.5 years. Are you going to deny evidence of someone who studied it over 20, 30, 40 years?
That's what they say. I'm not following
That's
any
what they
man.
say. They have
Follow
evidence.
no
They
man. I don't care. This is my life. I study my own research.
That's great. I understand that, but
right.
sometimes opinions can be wrong.
That's fine.
Your opinion
then
is wrong.
you live your own life the way you want to.
Yeah,
I live my life.
The next time you want to prove that flat Earth is wrong,
I'm not
use
proving
a flat
it.
globe.
I
Don't
am not.
Use a round one.
I'm not proving to anything. I'm saying.
Then what are you here for?
I'm showing you evidence that you can look for yourself.
If you're not here to prove anything, why are you here?
I'm just showing you evidence.
That's trying to.
That's all. Thank you so much.
I'm going to class.
That's all I'm doing. Showing you evidence.
How does the sun look? Like, what's the theory of the way this?
The sun goes around like this. It's very small, and it's about. I think it's like less than 10 miles from the Earth.
So how does it cause night and day though?
Because it only illuminates a certain amount of space. It does not go the whole distance across.
It's not bright enough to go the whole distance across?
And we also have perspective, and there's also atmospheric occlusion. So
when it looks like the sun sets, how does that work?
yeah, well, there's an experiment on that, and it's the third one on this link here. It shows you why you think it sets, but it really goes away. And the second video on here says the time lapse of the sun, where it just gets smaller and smaller and disappears. But we never see that because we live around water. So you have to.
So I can. One thing that I have seen with my own eyes before is I was looking over a cliff, a big cliff, and it was a really clear day. And when the sun set, the angle of the sun rays were going through the clouds like this. And so if the sun were to set horizontally, the most you would get is the sun going side to side. But for the sun to go at an upwards angle through the clouds, it went below the edge of the Earth. So if the sun model could be different, that's one thing, but the sun wouldn't be able to...
How do you know they were going up?
When I was looking at it, when I was looking out over the horizon, and the cloud and the mist was there, it was going at this angle.
Yeah.
How do you know that angle, though?
Because I was looking at it.
So what told you that? Is it because the rays were wider, closer to you, or what?
So if this is the horizon,
Fight the good fight,
the
Peter, you
angle
got
of
this.
the light was going from here, so that way this...
Yeah, but I don't
part
know
was
how
dark,
you
this
can
part was
say
bright.
that it's going up. That's what I don't know.
See, there's like the shaded part of it and the light part of it. And the angle where it divided between light and dark was like this. So going up towards the sky was the angle. So for it to get the angle...
Well, did you ever see, does a jet airplane, when it goes off into the distance, does that go down?
It disappears, normally in the
Yeah,
clouds.
but it looks like it goes down. But it really is at the same altitude. Okay, so I understand what you're saying, but I'm thinking that there might be something else to that. Like a jet plane with perspective, it looks like it goes down, but it's really at the same altitude.
But you could see the difference in the perspective over the horizon. So as it got closer, the light was at a higher and higher point from the ground, and as it was closer...
See, that's what I don't know how you can determine that. I don't know how you can determine how high the light is.
Well, just by like a... You see how the slope of that roof,
yeah,
the further part is higher up and the closer part is lower?
Yeah.
That's what I mean. So the further part was higher up.
I know, but how can you tell just by looking at it?
Well, I can tell by looking...
With light rays.
Looking at the top of the building, I can tell how tall it is. With the way you see the light...
Yeah, but see, that's a solid object, and you can look at the side and say, yes, it goes up. But with just light rays, I don't know how you can determine that. We have something called crepuscular rays. Look at here.
All the way like that.
This doesn't work.
Can you back up just a little bit?
This is all bullshit right here.
Right here,
explain to you the physics of water and the gravity.
This is crepuscular rays. Now look up here. These go up higher, and they are...
Yeah, and the way that I mean, you know how this part goes here up higher, right there, that line? That's what I was seeing. So the light ray was...
Well, could it be exactly that?
No, because the sun was already below. So the light ray was going at an angle. So if this Earth was flat...
Oh, I see. You said the sun was already set.
Yeah, so you could see the sun rays from where it's
set.
So
okay.
If the sun were to disappear
so, do you know what happens?
Never get the upward angle.
Do you know what happens? These are perspective rays. They split. If they're coming towards you, they split wider because it's really the same distance, the same width the whole way, but because of the distance. Yeah. So it could look like this, but it could be the same elevation, and that's what I'm challenging you with.
So when the sun set, though, if the sun were to go below the Earth, you wouldn't see anything anymore. Or if the sun was perfectly parallel with the Earth, the rays would go side to side or just disappear entirely.
You know what's interesting?
Went at an angle,
what's interesting about the sunset? The sunset on a globe with the heliocentric model, the horizon would be completely lit up. And this is something that was so exciting to me when I realized what it was. Our sun, when it sets, the night comes in from both sides and it closes in.
Yes,
but
you can see that, if you mind.
No, go ahead.
With the light rays, since it goes in a straight line here, you can see.
But they would come in like this. It would come in like this.
Yep.
So the whole horizon would be lit up the same. Mm-hmm. And when it's set, it would go like this. It would all disappear at the same time.
Yeah.
But it doesn't do that. If you watch our sunset, the sun shrinks and the light shrinks and the darkness closes in from the sides, and it is a beautiful sight to see.
So the way that happens is the atmosphere, the lower it gets, I remember I was wondering why I did that too, the atmosphere gets thicker and thicker, and sort of like how if you have a layer of glass over a layer of glass over a layer of glass.
Yeah, but if it's thicker and thicker, it's all over the horizon, the same thickness on the horizon. Have you seen this before? You may have one.
So you see here how the sun is brighter and brighter to the middle?
Yeah.
If you think of it, it's like a huge concentration of the light. So over here, there's not as much, and not as much, and not as much.
Yeah, but...
So as it goes away...
But this sun in the heliocentric model is 400 times the width of the Earth.
But it's also really far away.
Yeah, but it's still... The rays would be coming in like this.
But as you look away, as you get further and further away, it is coming from the same point.
But the rays are all coming in 400 times as wide.
But it's not a straight line.
That's what you don't understand, is the rays are coming in like this. Even though it looks small, the rays are coming in like this.
So if I have my arms here, from this far away from you, right now it covers the majority of your vision from side to side.
Yeah.
But as I move away...
Correct. Correct. But you're not emitting rays. Your fingertips are emitting rays.
No, I'm not saying I'm emitting rays.
If you are the sun, your fingertips are shooting rays at the Earth.
But what I mean is the perspective. So if you have...
I understand perspective.
Yeah, if you have a camera, right now I'm taking up this much of the screen. But as I move away, the amount of the screen is taking up is smaller and smaller.
Right.
And if I get far away enough, it's almost going to seem like I'm just taking up 1 pixel. But as I get closer, I'm taking up
but that does not mean, that never means that you only get that one thing coming right at the sunset.
Yeah, which is what's really
you
cool.
Never, if that sun were 400 times the size of the Earth, you would not have that. You would have light over the whole thing.
if it was closer than it is right now, but it's
no.
Like if it was
4,000 times.
No.
If it was as close as it looks right here,
no,
then you would have an argument.
Those rays are going out all the whole distance. This is what you have to study. You know what? And I'm going to tell you all, I will come back anytime. I plan to come back, but I don't want to be outside in the winter. So they will let me inside if somebody sponsors me. So I'll come back in December or January. Just, you know, contact the website, okay?
Who are you hired by?
By nobody. I'm here out of love for humanity.
She's doing it on her own to see if any of us would want to look into anything she's saying on her own.
Yeah, and I go everywhere. I have a YouTube channel. I've been to Penn State Temple.
Have you been around the world?
No. Did you want a card? Okay, good. So yeah. You know, really, go to this. Did you take your card or did I take it from you?
It's in my pocket.
Go there and watch those and then question all those things there. And there's the second one is a time lapse of the sun. The third one is how you think it sets because of the magnification in the atmosphere. So that's why you think it sets. I used to have an experiment that I carried along with me about that, but I don't now. I am really thrilled. I'm thrilled that you guys, I had such a good crowd here and you were all thinking and you could like feel the energy. Everybody was thinking.
I'm just out here to prove you wrong about
it. Doesn't matter.
It's still good that nobody's like getting physical.
Yeah. I almost kicked that one guy, but no. the Oriental guy, he said something funny and I'm there, rawr! But no, I'm kidding. But no, I think it's really good that we're all thinking. Questioning the government is what I really want you to do. Oh, come on. I'm a lot older than you. I can do this too. It's my birthday today, guys.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. I graduated from here in '75.
So I was only vaguely here earlier.
Where was the other part of you?
I had like 5 minutes and then I had to run.
Okay.
So what's like the...
You want me to run through it?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's, you have a card, right?
Yeah.
Bye. So here's the flat Earth map. This is from the Boston Library. It's called the Gleason's Azimuthal Equidistant Map. And there's Antarctica going all the way around the outside edge. The North Pole's in the center. It works like a car speaker, okay, where the electricity is, one pole is in the center and the other's on the rim. Okay, so then all these organizations use the flat Earth map, but they leave off Antarctica.
Well, I'm sorry, when you said the poles.
Yeah, the North Pole is the center. This is the South Pole.
Oh, so
the South Pole is really the South Rim.
Okay.
Okay. So this is the curvature formula. For forever how far out you go, it has to drop. And this is how we figure out the formula. Right there, Pythagorean theorem, yada yada, and we come up with 8 inches times a mile squared. That's our.
Why 8 inches?
Are you at the bridge?
Well, that's how they work it out. I don't want to. There, you can look at all this. Take it.
Where are they getting 8 inches from?
Right here, right here. You work that out. Okay. It's been checked by mathematicians that it's legitimate. So take a picture of that and then go ask a math guy.
Well, because I was working out in my differential equations class, the drop is going to be equal to the square root of the radius plus m squared. Radius squared plus m squared.
So how does that work out?
Minus the radius is going to give you your drop.
Are you going to get anything like that? Yeah. If you want to have your own formula, that's good. That's good. Then take your formula and then go find curvature. If you can do that, then let me know, because I haven't found any curvature yet in 2.5 years.
Have you had a big enough ruler to actually measure any considerable?
Well, you have to, you can look it up. Okay. You don't have to go away, you can listen. So, so then here's Chicago across 60 miles of Lake Michigan. That should be under 1,700 feet.
Okay.
Okay. We should look through the water to see that. And no, we're not. And that's a legitimate picture.
But what about the refraction of the Earth as the light?
We got on a speedboat and took a 2-hour trip with the video camera directed at Chicago, and it never changed.
We'd still have...
So, no, it never changed. So, I'm going with that.
We'd have curvature.
Here's 102 miles. This is Capria, island of Capria. When they're in the UK now, they're finishing up a 6-week tour in the UK. And they say the Isle of Man is so many feet or miles away. So then here's reality. The line on a flat surface. So if you take a glossy piece of paper, curve it, go up to a light bulb, all you get is a spot. So if the Earth were curved, you wouldn't get a line of reflection, you'd get a spot. And this is reality. So reality says we are flat. The waters are flat, and they're all flat with each other. And that's 73% of the Earth's surface. So if something is that big, and it's that much, then I would say the whole thing is flat.
If it's that big, it could be possible that you have local plane, like the local area looks like acts like a plane, even though it might not be. It's similar to local.
So we have infrared photography, which also goes 1,000 miles, that we have also seen it is flat. And no matter how high you go,
but light also refracts.
The high, not with infrared, darling. So
yes,
look, you have
that's exactly how all of light works.
You have the horizon always at your eye level, no matter how high you go. In an airplane, Mount Everest, whatever, it's always up here. And that proves that with perspective, the planes, you have two planes coming together. It's not a ball that drops away. Okay, so that's why we're like on this and we say these things. You want to look at stuff up, you can look at it. It won't hurt you. It's just evidence.
It could also be that
going
off of the radius of the Earth, any elevation that we gain off of that is not even close to enough magnitude. Therefore, we do not actually see any actual curvature.
I think you believe in the heliocentric model, and that's just wonderful, because I did for 59.5 years. Okay, but now I found this evidence, and I had these banners made up, and I came here and I'm showing everybody flat Earth evidence. If you want to preach your heliocentric model, you can get your own banners made up. You can stand over there and preach to whoever wants to listen. But I'm going to tell about this, okay? And he asked me a question, I'm going to answer that. So if you'll excuse us.
What was his question?
His question is, what is my evidence? So here we have Polaris in the center. Polaris in the center, and you leave the aperture open of a camera and you'll get star trails. Because actually what happens is the Earth does not move. The stars move in unison. There's no parallax with the stars. They move in unison above us, like an upside down salad bowl. Okay? So that's what we get in reality. But this is what they teach us in the schools.
Okay.
That the sun is moving through the universe and all the planets are rotating, orbiting around the sun, and we're all chasing through the infinite universe, and it comes up to like 1,000,000 miles an hour. I think this is reality, and I don't believe that.
Well, were you told that by the Flat Earth Society? Because the Flat Earth Society is actually...
it's a government-run organization, and I don't believe the Flat Earth Society at all.
Okay.
So I don't want that even brought into this, because I don't subscribe to that. So is there anything else on these pictures here that you say, well, tell me about that or that? What was those guys saying about this? Do you know? Somebody said, they said this is wrong, and this is not wrong. This is always. This is water. That's how water acts. That's the physics of water. I don't know what they're talking about.
What's your name?
Marilyn. Yes. You can find me on this website, okay? Of the card you didn't want to see.
I looked at the card.
I missed the justification of star trails. What was that? What was the
star trails is when you point your camera at Polaris in the middle and you leave the aperture open, this is what you'll get. The stars go around Polaris.
Okay, and how does that support your model versus a different model? How is that?
This is what they teach in the schools. And I don't think you can get reality from that.
But the stars being depicted are magnitudes farther away than our distance to the sun.
I know you believe the heliocentric model, and you're free to go over there and preach that if you'd like.
Well, I think what the question would be is currently... Now, I'm going to say this unbiasedly.
Okay.
So, assuming both of the arguments have the same support, this argument and this argument would both, I'll say, theoretically work out. However, they don't overlap. Like one doesn't. wouldn't directly contradict the other.
When you talk about the stars, there's a lot of unanswered questions. I agree with that. So that's why I try to stick to the surface of the Earth. And the surface says there has to be curvature, and we can't find any. So if they're lying about that, then they could be lying about the stuff they're telling us about the stars, too.
Now I've got a question about the water. So
Okay,
when I have
what
a
about?
glass of water, I don't see waves or anything in it.
Right.
So how do I know that on a larger scale water doesn't act differently? Because we already know that it does act differently in some manners because it has waves and all that type of stuff that happen in the ocean but not in a glass of water.
Right.
So maybe it does on a big scale like that curve.
Okay, so I can give you two examples. There's Lake Baikal in Siberia, which is 400 miles. And when it gets a sheet of ice on it, it's perfectly flat. It's not disturbed anymore. It's perfectly flat. There's also Salar de Uyuni down in Bolivia, and there's some very famous photographs there because when you get an inch of rain, the whole thing gets an inch of rain. It's like an inch of water on it, and they take these like sky photographs. So you look like you're walking in the clouds. It's like a really famous place. They do a lot of commercials there. And that is a very flat, 100 miles by 80 miles. So there's, you know, that's another example.
Now if it doesn't curve, then how does it work on a dome? Does it do rigid like lines or?
What doesn't curve?
The water. Like say you have like a big old ocean like.
We have a.
This one here, and it's on a dome. It has to curve.
No, it's not on a dome. Okay. No, 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 no. The Earth is the flat.
Oh, the bottom.
The dome comes over the top like that.
Gotcha.
Okay, now look up lightning sprites, and you'll see that in the lightning sprite videos.
So if it's flat, right?
Yeah.
And say I went onto a very high structure like the Empire State Building. Well, actually, something high without other high things nearby, like Mount Everest.
All right.
And I looked out. Would I be able to see the other high, like, could I see the tallest buildings in Beijing and the tallest buildings in New York?
If there was no